Okay, we've got tornadoes coming, but that is not going to stop us from doing a tier list of program covers, play and musical program covers. Now, I got quite a few disclaimers I want to make, and also I realize that you can't see these very well, and the scroll wheel on my mouse is kind of broken, so I don't have a quick and easy way of zooming in as I go here. I'm doing this in Canva, by the way, because I don't know how to make real tier lists, so I'm in Canva. So I'm gonna zoom in and kind of go through these, try to give you a good look at them as I give my disclaimers. That's too close. Okay, so these are just the order that I've seen them in, except for the one that doesn't have a program. That's in the wrong spot. But first and foremost, I'm just a guy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have any training. I'm not a visual artist, graphic design artist, or otherwise. So I'm just saying my opinion, right? What sticks out to me, what I think looks good or doesn't look good. So feel free to disagree with me. Also, this is just for fun. We're just having a little fun here. So if by some chance somebody that made a program sees me put it in a bad category, look, man, I have absolutely made my fair share of underwhelming programs. I get it. Sometimes you just have to get it out, and you don't care that much about it. I've been there, more for concerts than for shows, but I've been there. So like, I'm judging in the sense of I'm comparing these, but like I'm not judging the people that made these. They're probably volunteers, or if they were in a paid position, it probably wasn't specifically to make a program. So this is all in good fun. Let's just all relax about this a little bit. And let me talk a little bit about what I'm looking for in a program. This is not necessarily something that I would have been acutely aware of before starting my musical theater and stage play journey that I'm on this year. But as I've been going to these shows and seeing these programs, there's a couple things that I'm looking for a good program. I mean, it's got to have the name of the show and the name of the venue. That's kind of a non-negotiable there. I don't really care that much personally about the date, right? I know that's a pretty common element to have on a program is the date and time, but like you're getting the program when you're already there. So like you don't need to know what the date and time is. That's more for a ticket, in my opinion. I get that it could be kind of looking back, nostalgia, if you're looking through your belongings and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this. But like usually programs are for things over multiple days, so like you're not even getting the exact day in those cases. So I'm fine with them on there. It's good to have, but not a necessity for me. I like artwork, and I like good color, and just something to kind of make something pop, just make it pop a little bit. Sometimes that can be the color or the artwork, or sometimes it can be something else. Okay, so obviously I've seen these programs before because I've gone to these shows, but I haven't predetermined what category these are going into. So I made these categories here. We've got great, good, it's okay, do better, this is bad, and redacted. So let's get started here. So we're gonna start with Mary Poppins. Good color, decent artwork. Oh, something else I didn't mention is like it's good if the cover can like give you an idea of what the show's about, but I think that's pretty rare. So we're not seeing that in here, but good color, good artwork, big title. Obviously, we're looking at a very small version, but like I'm not seeing the venue. If I zoom in, I can see it on there. I guess, it would help me if I grabbed the actual physical programs so that I can have more specific information for you without having to mess my computer up all the time. So at the top, we've got the company putting it on, the venue that it's held at. We've got the title. We've got some weird extra stuff here. This is like celebrating the 20th anniversary. I don't think that goes on the front of the program. Right? That can go on the back or inside somewhere. And again, to clarify, this is I'm just ranking the fronts, not the program overall. Here we've got the acknowledgements, NTI, no recording. Okay, so I would say this is a good program. Good visuals, but we got this extra stuff here that we don't need, and the artwork doesn't tell us what the story is about. And then, you could say it's Mary Poppins. Who doesn't know what Mary Poppins is? But like, more people are born every day. Sometimes people don't know what the story is. And I forgot to say that in my criteria earlier. But like, if it's too busy, that's a point away, right? So we want it to pop. We want it to have artwork, but we don't want it to have too much going on. And I think this kind of gives it too much going on. So the next show was the 39 Steps radio version, which did not have a program. So it's going to go straight to redacted. And like, I said it at the time, I get it. They're volunteers. They're not paid. But like, at least print something out, even if it's on just a standard letter size paper that's not folded. At least have something. Even if you're gonna put a QR code out and have a digital program, at least that's something. You can't do nothing. You gotta have something. Next up is Aladdin Jr. Don't love the white background, but we've got this logo here. No artwork. We've got the Penguin Project logo at the top. That's cool. That's an important part of this production. But we don't have the venue. We don't have the theater or the school where it was held, and then we've just got the dates down here. So good logo, but no artwork, so no story, no venue. So I'm gonna say do better. It is clean, but there's not a lot going on there. Next up is Once Upon a Mattress. Now this program, this sticks out to me. It's a totally different from all the other programs. All the other programs on this list, it's a letter-sized sheet of paper folded over, or it's a booklet set to that size, right? This program is an 11 by 17, what's called ledger or tabloid size, and it's folded into threes. And so it's taller, it opens up in more ways, it's very interactive. I know I'm only judging the covers here, and not the whole program, but that really stuck out to me a lot. And I'm doing my program for my show very much inspired by this program. But we're just talking about the cover. So let's look at the cover. We got the nice purple background. We've got the text here, which takes up a lot of space. We've got Kiwani High School at the top. We've got the little crown, so it's telling us it's like a fairy tale, and then we do have the P underneath the mattress, so it does kind of tell us what the story is, and then we've got the dates down there. I don't love this playbill section. And like, again, I like the extra height. That's not the problem with it, but Playbill is a magazine, all right? People associate Playbill with musical plays, but like, it's an actual magazine. At least that's my understanding of it. I could be wrong. Tell me if I am, but it's a published magazine. Maybe the programs aren't always part of that, but like, I don't know. It's like you're trying to be cute and clever and like make it seem like a bigger deal than it is. You don't need to do that. Just this, make this more focused on your school, which is hidden down here, down from this big, just make that bigger. So that's going to take a point away from it. So this is going to go in good. All right. Next up, we have the 39 steps. So we've got the venue at the top here, Cornstalk Theater. Big logo, mostly text though, not a lot of artwork, just this dude running. And this doesn't really tell us anything about the story. It's not clear that he's a spy or anything like that. We've got some credits here, the date, and then publishing information here. So would have liked a little bit more artwork, kind of really showing that spy element. But it's very big. Again, it's very clean. There's just not a lot there. So I'm tempted to go do better. But they do have at least the venue, which the Aladdin one didn't have. And there is some artwork, even though it doesn't tell us a story. So I'm going to put that in. It's okay. Definitely better than this 39 Steps, which had nothing. All right, now on to Young Frankenstein. So we've got the venue at the top, Peoria Players Theater. We've got the Mel Brooks musical, Young Frankenstein. Then the director, and then the date. This one, I worry, might be too busy. It's hard to tell at this scale, but the yellow of the text here is like marquee lights. They're little light bulbs. So there's a lot going on in the text, and you've got the lightning coming all around. I mean, the venue text and all the text is yellow, so that kind of helps out. There's no castle or anything on here, though. So I feel like I would have preferred a castle in the background and maybe like one bolt of lightning going to the laboratory. All this lightning, in addition to all these light bulbs, feels like just a touch too much to me. So we're going to put that in good, but not great. Because I feel like that it could have been, it's just too busy. Could have been simplified a bit. Next up is Annie Jr. So this is just printed on a plain sheet of paper, folded over, not folded over very cleanly. We've got the logo, which has a little bit of artwork, but doesn't tell us anything about the story. The lightning does tell us a little bit about the story for Frankenstein, but Annie, you'd have to know the story already. It doesn't tell us anything. We've got the venue here, Morton Junior High School. Here we got lots of credits, and then like this text is super small. Obviously the picture on here is small, but like even on the program, super small. And then you got all this blank space down here. So this is gonna go in. This is bad. Nothing really that pops. I mean, I like Annie, so that's it's good that that's big, but that's not popping out at me, right? Next up is going to be 9 to 5. All right. So we've got, it's hard to see at this scale, but we've got the venue here, the Spotlight Theater in the center. We've got 9 to 5, which I did not realize for a while that the clock is on 2 o'clock. So it's 9 to 5. That's clever. We got these big block letters. We've got kind of a generic city background. Which kind of hints at the story, like not that it has to do with the city, but we've got the clock and the city, so it's about work. The title helps us know that. We've got the date here, and then we've got, again, you're not going to see it at this scale, but we've got the website for the theater and the address there. I feel like that's too much, but it's very small, and even on the full size program, it doesn't stick out. So it doesn't make it too busy. So I would say this program is great. It's got artwork that helps tell the story of the show. It's got the venue information, the title of the show, and the date, and that's about it. I mean, like I said, that other stuff is there, but it's not taking anything away. It pops. There's good color. I'm trying to get it lined up, and it's not going. There we go. So we have our first great. Next up is What Might Have Been. So this was a collection of 3 one-act plays. And look at all this blank space, and it does not tell us those 3 plays. What were they called? Narrator Needed, Coin Toss, and Yellow for Home, right? If they had just put those 3 things there, man, this would have been so much nicer. Because this group is called Barely There Theater, right? So I'm okay with the black background, Barely There, right? We've got the playwright there, who's a local person, so I understand wanting to get his name out there. We've got the date, and then the venue down at the bottom. So the group and the venue are not the same entities, so it makes sense that they're putting both on there. But again, all this space here, and they don't tell us the titles of the 3 plays. They say a series of one-act plays, but they don't tell us those plays. And no artwork. So I'm going to put do better. Is it bad? Is it bad? It is bad. Sorry, we're going down to this is bad. I like this guy. I like this group. I like this venue. This is a bad program. I'm sorry. All right, next up, Matilda Jr. So, I feel like we got a lot going on here. We've got the venue up here, Playhouse 38. We've got the show artwork here, Matilda. We've got the little picture of Matilda, Matilda Jr. This right here says Honeycast. This venue does multiple casts of the same show at the same time so that they can do lots of different performances because they have so many kids in their program. So that's what that is. So that makes sense for this particular situation. We've got the dates down here. And then all this down here, we've got... This venue is part of the city, like, parks department. So we've got information about that down here. I don't love that, but I understand it. And they've separated it cleanly from the show artwork. So, like, it automatically... It doesn't make it too busy. It kind of puts it... not in the background, but at a lower level of importance. So I like this program, but again, the artwork doesn't tell us much about the actual show. You can't see it at this scale, but this kind of blue field in the background, it's made up of letters. So there's like kind of some bookishness stuff there, but it's not really telling us anything about the story or the character, but it does look good. So is this going to go in it's okay or it's good? These two both have elements that tell us about the story. Mary Poppins doesn't really. What are those silhouettes of? It's Mary Poppins and Bert, but this doesn't tell us anything. I think I have to make some shifts here. I think I have to take 39 steps down to It's Okay. I have to take 39 steps down to Do Better. I have to take Mary Poppins down to It's Okay. And then that's where Matilda can go. And then these two will occupy good on their own. Okay? I feel good about that. We'll see how that plays out. Next up, we've got Little Women. Can I readjust this a little bit? Little Women. We've got the venue, Stage 212. The title of the show, Little Women. Credits, based on the novel. Director. Very small date. Ton of open space. And then publishing information. No artwork. Even inside the little O, it just says the Broadway musical, right? But no artwork. They don't even have the little silhouette of the four women. No color. Nothing pop. It's on blue paper, but like there's no color popping. This is bad. I don't know what else to say about that. The elements are all there, but they don't pop. Like this is recognizable as the venue brand. That's about the only thing I can say. It's bad. Next up, we've got Agatha Christie's A Murder is Announced. So at the top here, we've got the venue, the title of the show here with the logo, a little bit of a credit there, adapted by, dates here, and then publishing information down here. This doesn't really pop, but I do like all the elements of it. The background, it's kind of this cream-colored background, like a newspaper or something like that. And it's almost like a watermark. It's very faint, but there are like newspaper articles in the back. The torn off aspect of it, because the murder is announced in the newspaper. So the newspaper theme is there. I feel like that's enough to give us a hint at the story and the vibe of the story. I just wish there were more color. It is red, but it's a very dark red, and I know they're going for blood, but it's a very dark red. They could have put some color in some other places, um, and there is kind of a bit of wasted space here. So I feel like they could have done something there. So I'm gonna go with it's okay. I like all the elements that are there. I just feel like it could have been a little bit more, but I mean, it's going for a newspaper look, so like I get that they don't want it to be too much. But I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. Next up, Little Shop of Horrors. We've got the venue up top, Marriott Theater. Title of the show, big and huge. We've got the artwork of the plants coming out of the cash register, so that hints at the story. No date information. This is a very long run, so I guess that makes sense. But I love this program. Super clean, very eye-catching, with the artwork that tells us the story. So that's going up to it's great. Enough said. Next up is Les Mis. We have, this is a little bit weird. We've got the Broadway in Peoria at the top, which is not the venue, but I guess it's like the I don't even know what you'd call it. Like the line. That's not the word I want, but it's the only one I can come up with. We've got the Amarin sponsorship up there. Don't love that. Obviously, the show title, the artwork is good. That does kind of hint at the story, so that's all fine. Then down here, we've got the venue and the date. So most of the elements are there. I don't fully understand what Broadway in Peoria is. I guess that'd be like the group, right? Like the Barely There Theater. So it's at least good. Is it great? I don't think this is as eye-catching as these. And I get that like it's not that kind of show, but you know, maybe that's why I didn't like this show. It's not eye-catching, it's not bright. There's the red, but like it's not enough. Um, there is this kind of cityscape in the background there, so like this is coming down more to my personal preference than the actual elements that I've stated. So I do acknowledge that, but I've got to keep it in good. Just like it could have been great. It's just the color choice. Even if if the top banner and the bottom banner were blue, even if the rest of this was black, and then that red would pop more, you know. But having this all be blue, then this top and bottom shouldn't be blue. Like maybe they wanted to make it match, but it kind of just all blends in, and I need it to pop. So those could have been black, or those could have been white, or I don't know. But I felt bad. I wanted to move it up, and then I realized that those banners made me move it back down. Next up, we have the importance of being earnest. We've got the venue here, Cornstalk Theater. This kind of fancy writing to fit the fancy society elements of the show. We see, I like this artwork a lot. The silhouette of a man with the woman in the middle. So we know it's about a man and a woman. We know it's kind of this vaguely fancy vibe to it. So I like all of that. Excuse me. We've got the author, the director, the date, and then this down here, sponsorships. I hate sponsorships on the cover. Get in your place, and then publishing information down here. So the artwork elements that are there, I like. They do hint at the story, so it's better than these two. But that sponsorship is a bad addition visually. So that's going to hold it back, and it's okay. I'm going to have to scroll this over. I guess you can still see the colors. So yeah, that's got to stay there. Because it takes up too much space. I don't like it. Next up, the show that I won't name, so I will just call it Louise. This is a pretty clean look, but a lot of information on here. So we've got the venue is written very small above the title. We've got the title. We've got this artwork. That is the character, and I think the artwork and the title and this spotlight kind of framing do kind of to hint at the story a little, so that's all good. This purple shadowing is a nice touch. Again, that helps it pop out a little bit. We've got the date here, and then all this small text. We've got director, music director, sponsored by, original production by, entire production originally directed by, book by, music by, lyrics by, suggested by the memoirs of. Here's how to get tickets. Like, we don't need to know how to get tickets. We're already at the show. And then we've got the publishing information very small at the bottom. This is way too much stuff. That's what this is a whole booklet. With, I mean, they don't have pages numbers, but pages numbered. They do have pages numbered. This has 15 pages on the inside. You don't need all the credits on the front page. If that was all gone and it was just venue, title, date, artwork, and then this was all blank to help it pop more, that would be nice. So I think it's going to have to settle for it's good. Because this is small enough that it's not super distracting, but it's just too much. Too much, and it doesn't need to be on the cover. Next, on to Peter Pan. We got the venue up top here, title of the show, the dates. Here they've got the dates again, the times for each day of those dates. That seems redundant. The address for the venue. Here we've got like a tagline, second star to the right and straight on until morning. And then the website for where to get tickets. Again, if we have the program, we're already at the show. I don't need to know how to get tickets. It's so weird that so many of them do that. Maybe they use the same artwork for their flyers, but like I haven't noticed that. It's weird that this artwork is Hook when it's called Peter Pan and it's about Peter Pan. And we've got this clock in the background, and I feel like a big clock, like a Big Ben type clock, is relevant to Peter Pan. Maybe they like fly up there in the movie or something. Not in the show that they did. So not relevant to the show. And Hook is not the main character or the main focus in this version of the show. I know he is in other versions of the story, but not in this one. So it's weird that they focus on Hook. We do have the star in the middle, so like that's fine. But there's nothing Peter Pan here on this cover. So that's already going to take it down. Too much space devoted to the dates and times. This could have been one line instead of two lines, the address, which again doesn't need to be on there because if we have the program, we're already there. So I think this one has to stay in It's Okay. I really want to say do better. You know what? I am going to say do better. It's like the artwork looks good, but it's like the wrong artwork. So I'm going to say do better. I got to pick up the pace. This video is too long. Next up is God of Carnage. We've got the venue here, Playcrafters Barn, the title, the writer and translator, and then this artwork, which I'll come back to, the date written along the bottom of the artwork, and then a ton of small text down here. We've got sponsorships, grants. Way too much. This stuff shouldn't be on the cover. This artwork, unless I'm missing something, this seems to just be abstract. This doesn't seem to be like a stylized depiction of a character or a scene in the show. This tells us nothing about the show. The font tells us nothing about the show. The colors tell us nothing about the show. I almost skipped this show because I thought it was about like war or something. I loved this show, but you wouldn't know it by looking at the program. So, not good. Is it bad? Oh, is it bad? It's all white, but that's part of the artwork. I think it's bad. This stuff on the bottom is bad. The date, even on the full-size one, like it's hard to read. It doesn't contrast with the dark red behind. And the artwork is just nothing. It's not only does it not tell us the story of the show, but it made me think about something else, a different type of story that wasn't the show. So I think it's bad. Like, as artwork, it's interesting, but as program artwork for this show. It's bad. Next up is Wordplay. Another one at the Black Box. So we've got Barely There, the group there. We've got the title of the show, Wordplay. The playwright, again, the local guy. So I get that he wants to put his name out there. The dates, and then the venue down there. The artwork here in the background, it's these connected lines connecting these kind of 4 different points mixing through the center. And when I first saw it, I thought it was just kind of an abstract thing, but the whole show is kind of an abstract thing, and it keeps jumping forward and backward in time, and it's about 4 characters and like all of their separate interactions, which they don't really know are happening with each other until one of the final scenes, when everything kind of clicks into place. So like it seems abstract, but it does subtly hint at the story of the show, but it doesn't pop. It's not exciting. It doesn't draw my eye in. This artwork wouldn't make me interested in this show. But I'm gonna say it's okay because it does fit. It's got the elements there. I think some different color choices. Like the elements that are there are okay. They just need to be tweaked. So I'm gonna put that it's okay. It could go down and do better, but I think it does a better job than these ones. So I'm putting it up and it's okay. It's weird that that's in the same category as Mary Poppins and Matilda, but you know, it is what it is. This is where we're at. Next up is Black Coffee. Simple, clean. This white splotch here is just a reflection from when I took the picture. That's not part of this here is steam from the coffee mug. That is reflection from light. I like this simple, stylized hat and mustache for the detective. That plus the coffee gives us a little hint at the story and the vibe of the show. The colors are clean. That helps it pop. Nice, you know, it's not a bright like neon green or red or anything. It's just this yellow caramel color, but it pops. It's visually interesting. We've got by Agatha Christie, and then the character's name, who I don't know how to pronounce, but for people that know who that is, that would be useful information. And then the publishing information, very small at the bottom. It's kind of cut off. Oh no, it's there. It's just small. We've got the venue information, very small across the top. I would like to see that be a little bit more work put into that, like a logo or something, like this fancy Marriott logo. But you know, it is what it is. It kind of overlaps onto the artwork a little bit, and I feel like you've got enough space here that you could have pulled that down. But overall, I think it's good. It's not great. It's not as good as these other two, but it has all the right elements. They could have just, you know, I don't care if the venue doesn't look fancy. If I'm already there, I'm at the venue. They don't need to sell me on the venue. They need to sell me on the show. Actually, I guess if I have the program, then I've already been sold on the show too, huh? Oh man, is that going to take it down? I like this program a lot. I'm gonna leave it up. I'm gonna leave it up. As I said at the beginning, the venue information I think is important for a program, but I don't think it takes away from everything else that's there. I don't know. We'll see. We only got a couple left. We'll see if I change my mind again. Next up is Anastasia. This nice purple color is very eye-catching. We've got the venue here. Again, we've got kind of a tagline, one step at a time, one hope then another. Who knows where this road may go? This is a lyric from one of the songs. We've got the big A, Anastasia the musical. We've got the dates, the times, some credits here, and then publishing information down below. So I do feel like the artwork itself could take up more space, and all this text down here could take up less space. Also, nothing in the artwork tells us much about the story. There's a little hint of like a palace here, but that's not super clear that that's what that is. There's no like jewelry or tiara or music box or anything like that that I feel like would have done more to tell us about the story. It does look good. It's pretty, but I think it's held back by all this other stuff and no story elements. So I'm going to put it in What is this? Not bad? Oh, good. Okay. I'm going to put it in good. Okay. Next up is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This one's going down here. I hate to tell you this early, but let me break it down. We've got the venue, Bureau Valley High School, the author, the name of the show, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the date, and then credits, music and lyrics by, book by, publishing information here, and then director, music director, assistant director, lights, volunteers, custodial staff, presented by, and then we've got sponsorship. This isn't a sponsorship. This is a charitable charitable organization that this school always raises funds for. So, like, I kind of get that, but it's just a wall of text. There's no artwork, nothing that tells us anything about the story, and all of these credits should be on the inside, not on the outside. That could be there. Put it down a little bit further because you got all this empty space here. But put some artwork here, man. That's redacted. Next up is Finding Nemo Jr. We got two left. Finding Nemo and then one more. Finding Nemo Jr. We've got the venue up top, Oglesby, Washington Junior High. The logo, logo for the show, Finding Nemo Jr. And then credits. Why are we putting credits on the cover? Book, music, and lyrics by. Book adapted by. Music and orchestration adapted and arranged by. Based on the 2003 Pixar film. Written by. And then it's all the people that wrote the movie. Why are they here? The dates and times. And then very small here, the publishing information. And a lot of wasted space here, right? So get all these credits off the front page. Put a picture of a fish there. There's a teeny tiny little one inside the O. That ain't cutting it, dog. We need some artwork on here. We need the credits off of there. And it's just black text on a yellow piece of paper. This is bad. The logo itself, it does have a fish, and we do have the little wave for the ocean. So that's enough of an artwork hinting at the story to get it out of redacted and into this is bad. But it's bad. And by the way, I'm just saying it as I'm turning it over. The whole back page of this program is blank. So all these credits could have easily gone on the back. But, whatever. All right, last one. The Little Mermaid Jr. We got the venue here, Stark County High School. This just makes me sad. This is just badly copied on plain white paper in black and gray. And, there's different, columns of color here, which makes me think that the original image probably had, banners of color coming down. But I don't know that because they printed it in black. And then the dates there. The dates are already in the artwork, by the way. So having them here is redundant. It's weird that, on Matilda, I get that they want to separate the show artwork from the venue and this, the Parks Department information, but here it's just what are we doing? We got all this empty white space, and then that's just ugly black. I liked this show. I don't like this program. It's bad. Again, it's not as bad as Redacted because it does have artwork and a program does exist, but man, that's bad. And that's it. That's it for now. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. This is a very long video, but I guess that means I'll have to do these more frequently as I get more programs. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.